I'm now live in what essentially is the Goddrifter podcast. What's going on, everyone? Goddrifter here, and welcome back to another podcast. Now, unfortunately, I didn't stream Thursday because, like I said, I'm going to take a break from Gran Turismo because right now it's in utter chaos. Nothing is changing whatsoever in GT Sport, so I'm going to take a break from it for now, so that way I can actually focus on other things, such as the new series, as in my podcast, and not to mention my new series that is going to be here in the channel soon, is known as Needs to Be Payback Speed List. And it's where I do a challenge that is suggested by you subscribers to do in a speed list. Well, actually, what kind of cars I have to use in speed list, because, then again, who knows? And probably gonna do it in a casual playlist next time, because doing one in, doing one ranked is a bad idea. It was a good idea to begin with, but, you live, you learn. Anyways, welcome to the podcast. Alright, give me a moment. Let's see. Production. C. Dot. M. Dot. Alright. I'm gonna turn night mode off because I'm gonna be doing night mode every single day. Like, it makes no sense. I think it was East Toge this time. I don't know why. I don't know how people keep on saying Toge for Toge. Like, Toge. This is, the E is not silent. Is that correct? Just yes, it is. But it's not the same every single podcast. So literally, one podcast is this game, and then the other podcast will be a different game entirely. So is that? I need to buy it. Yeah, it's actually really good. Not to mention, it is probably the most. It's not underrated per se. It's just that, like, if the game was lowered by its pricing, then it would have been a lot better, because obviously, like, you're getting a game that is from, I'm not kidding when I say this, from the App Store to your console, and it's like, oh, okay, it's pretty cool. At the same time, they're getting a lot of updates, just like the second game, which is already out. Again, the first time I ever played this game, I was like, okay, what can I do? Like, there isn't any. And I'm like, is there a tutorial of this? I'm like, oh wait, there isn't. I had to do my own way. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm like, okay, let's see here. Do I have to buy another car? I'm like, oh wait, it already gave me 3 cars. One was the 86, the other one was a Miata, and then another one was a Lada, if I remember correctly, which was a car that was made in Russia. No, you know what? Let me buy my first car. And then turns out that it was a bad idea, because, like, I need a car to progress. So that was mistake number 1. Do not buy cars early in in this game, because literally those cars can cost around, like, the average, like, 5 grand all the way to, like, the millions. So at least the economy of this game is not broken, unlike GTA. literally the moment that a car became popular. Oh, it is now more expensive. No one's gonna buy this. Trust me. Like there are some ways to actually ruin a pricing on a car in GTA. For example, the Landstalker. Bleh, GTA, the Landstalker XL. Really, really under. I'm not saying underestimated, but it's more like an understatement to the fact that literally, out of all the trucks they ever added, they added a new Landstalker, which, keep in mind, is based off the Lincoln Navigator. But the thing is, the newer Navigators came with a V6, and only a V6. I don't know if they made a V8s for it, but I had to guess no to the fact that I looked it up. I can't find any V8 examples, so came with the V6. Unfortunately, yeah, you can tell when something bad happened to the vehicle because they had the same, because the Landstar XL had the same interior as its regular variant, which was a badly pixelated badly pixelated interior. And I'm like, okay, so what are we paying for exactly? The truck is slow, not to mention it was bad. Like, why? Who came up with the idea of giving the newer version of the Landstalker the same interior as the original SUVs of the game? I'm like, man, well, you're basically paying for a newer truck. I mean, yeah, it's a newer truck. It's a nice looking truck too, but like, if you paying so much to actually wanted a new SUV that badly, then yeah, I'm not with my brother on that one, man. Whose idea is to? Like, I don't know if Vapid was high on something, but please tell me they didn't greenlight this with the badly designed interior, because I guess they did. um, um, there are some things that can be beneficial, like for example the Eclipse from GTA, which it was really more expensive than its regular counterpart. Like the original Penumbra was a 4th gen Eclipse, which came with really good customization, and not too long ago it came with liveries. So yeah, it's actually not a bad car, but I wish it was like a lot more faster. Due to the fact that it's got new liveries now. And I just hope they added something else, and it's like, okay, that's cool. And then literally like last year, the summer Los Santos update, they give us the Penumbra FF, which is two abbreviations of it. It stands for Penumbra Fast and Furious or Penumbra Front Engine Front Wheel Drive. Because if I had to guess which variant that car is, it has to be the GST. Because there's obviously the GST is probably probably the most sought out cars after the GSX. But the GSX is a lot more rare to the point where like they get like literally the Eclipse when it came with a 4G63, it's essentially a cheaper two-door Evo, which at that time you don't have that until around 2003, which they give us the Evo 8 but not the Evo 7, which I was kind of bummed about it, because I'm like, oh, okay, they give us a approved sporty Lancer, but we got the 8th generation, and that's like 2 generations before it was discontinued. While Japan, because forget us, right? This is it had literally evils 1 through 7, and then Japan's like, you know what? Let's give them the Evo 8. What could possibly go wrong? Let's just detune the cars just in case, because who knows what's gonna happen. They give the Evo 8, we were happy, and yeah. And then a couple years later, oh, I'm sorry, we meant to give you the Evo 9. Sorry about that. It's like, don't worry, we are gonna Evo 8, so yeah, we're good. And then the Evo 10 came out, which was right off the bat, probably one, in my opinion, my favorite looking Evo out of the entire 10 generations, due to the fact that it looks aggressive, it sounds aggressive. Heck, one of my classmates from 2 semesters ago had a Lancer Sportback, which was a wagon version of the Lancer. I was like, oh, okay, I wonder what it came with. He told me it came with a 4B12, which is kind of like the 4B11, except instead of 2 liters, it was 2.4 liters, but it was naturally aspirated. So I was like, okay, that makes quite a lot of sense. Then again, what was I saying? Oh yeah, there are bad ways to do currency and economy in any racing game, and then there's like bad ways to do it. For example, I really hate to put my favorite game on the spot, but Tokyo Extreme Racer Drift 2, most expensive car was a Mercedes-Benz 190E Evolution 2, which cost around 10 million credits. Keep in mind that by the time you unlock the car, you already have like 50 to 100 million credits. And and keep in mind, it's a foreign car, so it's like, oh, okay, that totally makes sense, because the credits in that game are based off of yen. But, yeah, I'm not gonna let Goddrifter247sun and Forza go, because when it's my first car in real life, it's a really insane part because of the fact that it was probably my favorite looking bands out of all of them. Not all of them, but my favorite classic bands. Okay, I kind of lied. And my favorite 90s looking bands, because who doesn't love 190E? Like, it was insane. And it's like, oh, okay. They have a 190E in the game. That's how much it costs. Oh, 11 million? Okay, I got 50 million, no problem. But the the sad part is we can't upgrade the car because it's like, why? Why would you let us upgrade it? Well, no, actually, never mind. We can upgrade it. It's just that you can't change the look of it, which it already looks good stock. Like, that's just me. But yeah, it was actually a really cool car to drive around in. I'm not gonna lie. Forza and Gran Turismo are guilty of this, because on one hand you have some cars that are fan favorites that you can actually buy for cheap. Like the Nissan Skyline, you can actually get for like 40, 50 grand. Toyota Supra, 30 to 40 grand. RX-7, 39 grand. It was probably the best thing ever. But on the other hand, you got the really, really vintage looking cars that go for like 15 to 20 million. And not to mention, the game itself is a hassle to make money, because you try to like make money for like 15 minutes and you're like, okay, so what can I buy? And oh yeah, Forza is also guilty of this. Like the moment you end up like having like 38 million, you already have like half the car list. So it's like, who is making up these prices? But the worst part is the fact that how those cars, well, actually, the cheapest car is $25,000. Keep in mind, a newer Honda Civic Si, fully decked out, will probably will probably paid around more or less, uh, I'd say 23 grand if new, but 19 grand if used. Yeah, I'm just wondering who decided to have the price tag of 25 million on one car. But Need for Speed, Need for Speed is hit and miss. Like on one hand, you have cheap cars that are ridiculously good, like the Chevelle with the Chevelle from Need for Speed Pro Street, but the without like the without like the Arrow. They just start seeing realistic prices on cars and games. True. Like it was like the Chevelle is probably the best drag car you can actually buy right out the bat. Like when you have like it's like, oh, just get like 30 grand and you can actually get the best muscle car in the entire game. And trust me, I have played Pro Street with that Chevelle as my only drag car. And heck, I even beat Caramel with the same car I bought when I was like, yeah, don't worry, it should be fine. I just need to do a little bit of tune-up, buy a couple upgrades, leave the exterior alone, and yeah, should be good. But and again, like I really do miss the used car. Excuse me. I really do miss the used car options. Not used car options. The used car dealerships where you can actually buy a specific car for like cheap. In fact, Goddrifter247 had a used car dealership, and keep in mind it was probably my favorite thing out of the entire game was like, oh, it's a used car dealership. And heck, I ended up having two cars instead of like the one car I had in Gran Turismo 3. Then again, there can be a drawback. Like if the car is free, then you don't know why the car is free. You just like you're given this car, it's like, oh yeah, I bought this car, it's free. It's like, okay, is there anything wrong with it? Because pretty sure if you have a free car, then there's something wrong with it. It's like, no, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's good. It's like, you sure it's okay? Because anything could go wrong with a free car. And trust me, there are. I had to use car dealerships comes back in the new GT. See, I once bought a used car and changed Joel on it low. Oh my goodness. Oh, I hope used car dealerships comes back in the new Gran Turismo. I must buy a used car and change it. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Well, if anything, like there are some useful things to use your money on, but there are also useless things to use money on. For example, in Need for Speed Payback, you end up you have to buy garages just to get like garage spaces. But if I remember correctly, once I ever bought the game, yeah, I bought all the garages in less than a day. I was like, oh, that's convenient. I can finally get my own virtual garage. with 100 and still to this day 150 cars. I'm like, man, if this game doesn't if this game doesn't kill my PS4, I don't know what will. It didn't kill me. It just killed. It didn't kill my PS4. It just killed the game for me because like you get like garages so easily, and it's like, oh, all right then. Pretty sure if I remember correctly, half these things can work. Uh, Yes, I have word correction. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm like, yeah, I kind of realized like, oh wait, I think it has like a typo. Um, what was I saying again? Oh yeah. So yeah. The most important thing about like having like an economy on a car game is the fact that the prices had to be realistic. Like, if the price isn't realistic, then no one's gonna play because it's like, okay, why do we have to pay real money for these cars? And GTA is guilty of that mess. In fact, I'm pretty sure that the newest vehicle they added was around 1.1 million, and it's a Humvee. I mean, I get it, it's a military vehicle, but the worst part is that today's podium car is probably the worst car, period, for the fact that literally a lot of people buy the casino penthouse just to get the car. Now they have the podium, now the car's at the podium, it's like, okay, do I want to get the car first, then play the mission? And then also keep in mind, let's see, in fact, 90% of the player base have done the casino heist, not the casino heist, the casino penthouse missions. And it was difficult, but we got the car in the end. So I was like, okay, so what's stopping them from, like, giving us a different car? And it's like, oh, that makes sense. What else is there? And not to mention, nowadays, like selling cars is kind of a bad thing nowadays because usually when it comes to like selling a car, it's pretty much a good thing because like you have fun with it, yeah, fun of it, you have to sacrifice. Yeah, it's crazy overpriced Rockstar was making people buy shark cars. Yeah. Yeah, I can see Rockstar like, oh yeah, let's see what couple cars. Oh yeah, million. This thing's old, 500 grand. 999 grand. It's like, who's giving us these prices for no reason? Oh my goodness. I'm like, who in the world is gonna buy these cars? Like, unless you did two things, either grind it or buy shark cards, it's gonna be like, oh, I think we made a mistake. It's like, you have done good this time, Rockstar. I mean, then again, Midnight Club 3 and Midnight Club Los Angeles has probably the most reasonable price in terms of cars. Then again, there's and some people will be like, one person will be like, wait a second, what car was extremely overpriced? That's not true, because keep in mind, Midnight Club 3 had the McLaren F1 LM. It was probably the fastest car in the world until it was defeated by Bugatti's new Veyron. And that car cost around 250 grand. And it was actually one of the fastest car, and it wasn't overpriced. Keep in mind, what's what's that called? Keep in mind, Middle Club Los Angeles, on the other hand, have like concept cars. They have really really interesting supercars, and heck, you can get yourself a Class A car by being in a tournament, and it was a lot more expensive than the. Uh, okay, as long as, okay, spoiler warning. If you haven't played Middle Club Los Angeles, the car I was talking about is the Murcielago Dub Edition, and that car was probably I would say insane, but I will not say it's insane because I mean trust me, the only insane thing about this game is the fact that it gave us a Shelby Cobra concept, and it was more expensive than the what's that called? It's way more expensive than a Lamborghini Miura, which was around 70 grand. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad pricing wise. But then again, the most expensive car in the entire game was probably the S7, 575 grand. But that's because it makes sense. Other games just were like, oh, it's a Celine. How is supposed to price something that came from 2005? It's like, look it up, do your research, people. Oh my goodness. But um, if there's one, if I have, I'd say like if there's one game I know that just that's just like it actually makes no sense on why people buy cars like these are was from the game known as Tesla Unlimited 2, a game that was produced by Eden Games. But here's the thing: I didn't experience the Xbox version of Tesla Unlimited. I experienced the PS2 version, which was made by a different developer, and it was good until like, oh, you had to like buy cars, and the funniest thing is that you can get the most expensive car just by just by going to the tournament for in order to get the Sammy's is want to play it lol. Today I'm doing well. I'm going to be retired. I'm not retiring, but I'm taking a break from GT Sport because everything is literally insane. Everybody just don't know what they're doing. Um, Other than that, I'm doing well. Right now, the gameplay is of my Zenki face swapped S14 with the theme of magenta and white with 2 offsets of wheels, 5 spokes in the front, and a deep dish mesh in the rear. And I literally just made this design today, so there's that. Now what was I? Oh yeah. Uh, like Tesla Unlimited just gives you a chance to actually win a D-class car, which is I'm not gonna say it's ridiculously priced, but you can say that it was probably the best ways to actually make money out of the entire game. There's one thing I'm talking about the Aston Martin DB4 GT Zangado, and the car was priced around 1.9 million. It was, I would say it was probably the most expensive car I ever gotten until I sold it, and I gotten half of the money back. So I was like, okay, I had around at least 900 grand to a million. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm rich. I can finally buy whatever I want. But I'm like, oh wait, no, never mind. I had to think like, I need to be smart about this. I need some class cars. So I ended up I ended up buying a bunch of houses. Not a bunch of houses, but I bought like one house that's worth, I say, 250 grand. It was like 8 car garage. So I was like, man, I think I'm living the dream. My god. I just I wish like the games are a lot harder to make money in, because nowadays anybody can actually make a million. Like they grind the entire grind this entire time. Like I'm like, okay, when did racing games became easy? I mean, trust me, I know when a game is easy, and I know when the game is hard. Like, Needs was why it was probably hard due to the fact that it was rubber band AI, which was probably a bad design in the first place. At the same time, Underground 2, uh, their AI was the actual difficulty depending on which one you put it on. But I heard that Underground 2 can be difficult on normal settings, so I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna play for the story. I'm just gonna take it easy. And let's just say that I didn't sleep when I was playing East Underground 2, because it's like, oh, East Underground 2. How can I actually play this? Alright, let's play at nighttime, which actually makes perfect amount of sense. So, oh yeah, and then there's the SUVs and trucks that like, oh man, the trucks is more expensive than the cars. Like, okay, like, okay, name me one car that you think is more expensive than the truck. Like, trust me, I dare you to say one thing now, or say that what truck is more expensive than a car. And it's like the Ford 150 Raptor. The, okay, here's the thing. The Mercedes-Benz C63 AMG sedan costs much more than a Ford Raptor. New, keep in mind. Oh my goodness. Well, no, actually, speaking of which, I think that racing games can provide a variety of cars. It just depends on the timeline of what cars are going to be added. Like, like even SnowRunner, if you buy a car for $10,000, you can sell it again for 100 grand. You can also sell upgrades for the same price you bought. Jesus, this is how. How does SnowRunner? I think I didn't mention SnowRunner because I haven't played it, but I heard SnowRunner has a good economy, but some people can actually sell cars and it can be ridiculous. Okay, not a double hit. I've been doing laps in this S14 the whole time. How am I not running out of tires yet? Oh Jesus, my bad. Okay, so there's an R32 and a... Oh, there's a Mark II. Okay, that's interesting. Alright. Now, keep in mind, we never got Mark IIs in the US. So, seeing one actually got me interested in one. If I remember correctly, actually, supercars, they're the only cars that are reasonably priced. Like, okay, let's be honest here. Like, half the times, people don't know how much one car is, but it depends on if the car is decked out or not. In fact, Test Drive, any Test Drive game actually has, well, let's say Test Drive Unlimited and Unlimited 2 had the best options that you can actually offer with your, what's that called? It has the best prices when it comes to which, uh, and, when you want to buy the car, it's like, oh, okay, let's see what kind of car you want to get. oh, you wanted this new Ferrari. Oh, you wanted yellow. Okay, with black on black interior. Oh, with five spoke wheels. It's like, oh my goodness, I love this game already. But then, what killed me about the game was its toxic online experience. Like, like literally, the game was modded to death to the point where literally Atari, let's see, in fact, GameSpy shut down every single game that had a online feature, including Test Drive Limited 2, which I wish it was like, man, if they played the game the right way, then they wouldn't be in this mess. But like, who in the world is gonna play Test Drive Limited 2 nowadays? Like, it was practically pointless if you actually is going to like mod the game, because not only that you're violating your end user's agreements, but it's like, oh, you have to buy a totally new game for it's like, yeah, you have to buy a totally new game for like a for like another for like an entirely new experience. And it's like, okay, so yeah. But the thing is, when it comes to variety, it's either, oh, a lot of people wanted convertibles in one game, but like in the other game they had the coupe models. So it's like, okay, so why can't we have both? Newsby, he kind of did this correctly, except for the fact that they're the same exact car, but with its extra options. That's the main thing. It probably would have been better if it was a conversion. Like, for example, my S14, and keep in mind, this is the Kuki model. But what I did is that I swap in the Kuki face with the Zenki face onto the Kuki body. So that's why it actually looks like this. Then there's also like the SUVs, the trucks, and heck, even like motorcycles need like variety. But there are some things that's too much variety. In fact, that's the next topic that I want to talk about. Is too much of something good? Like is it right to have too much of something in a game? Like, for example, Need for Speed Underground 2 has, in my opinion, probably had the best customization, but it was too much customization. As in, literally, when I was staying in a hotel, I accidentally fall asleep on Need for Speed Underground 2. Yeah, keep in mind, I grew up with Underground 2. I never fallen asleep. And I'm like, wait, did I just fall asleep on everyone's favorite Need for Speed game? Like, how in the world did that happen? I'm like, oh great, don't tell me. I'm like, oh no, I fall asleep on the customization mode. Oh no. I'm like, man, how in the world? And also, keep in mind, I'm older than the game itself. Like, that's the insane part. Like, I'm like, who has, like in the back of my mind, I'm like, who in the world had the nerve to sleep on these Be Underground 2 customization mode? And I figured out the reason. It was the fact that it was too much customization. Like, you do anything to the car as long as you know what to do. But unfortunately for me, yeah, apparently too much civilization equals you can accidentally fall asleep when you didn't realize it. Oh goodness. But when it comes to like the newer games these days, like even though it's like, oh man, it's not the same. Like how can this producer do this or how can this producer do that? It's like, man, just enjoy the game and enjoy it a lot and enjoy it even more because you never know what new game's gonna come out in a couple of years or at least a couple of days. Like for example, Gran Turismo Sport is the only PS4 game that PS4 not ESP, the only Gran Turismo game that came out on PS4. It's supposed to be Gran Turismo 6 as well, but due to bad timing and due to the lack of a different port, they had to like improvise. So it's like okay, you can easily just upgrade the graphics and then just put it onto the PS4 and you're good. Well, the opposite happened. uh, okay, no, seriously, like how in the world am I not running out of tire yet? Like I should be on rims right now, like for real. So yeah, a variety of cars is not a bad thing, but there is also but it also can be a bad thing because it depends on what culture your cars are from. Like for example, if you have like a bunch of muscle cars, your game will be like a drag racing game. Or if you have like only tuners, then it'd probably be the underground racing scene back in like the back in the late '90s, mid 2000s. Um, if you have all the above, your but the customization is outdated. You probably have a game that came out around mid 2000s, early 2010s. Um, but if it's like customization up to date, oh, your game came out around the time where like stance was a thing. Like you had to have tags in the game, otherwise no one's gonna play the games. Like okay, that makes no sense. Uh, yeah, I kind of know I've been driving backwards the whole time while where everybody else was. Oh my god. What was I? Oh yeah. Um, yeah. When it comes to like, it's like, oh yeah, like the Arrow game takes place in such and such, and it's like, okay, it's gonna be taking place in the past. It's gonna be taking place couple of years by now. Like for example, my series Walking Fury, the first season takes place in 2015, and it was literally anything that has reference to 2015. And in fact, I had to literally not use any cars from 2016. And we do live streams on the new GT in the future, when it's more easy to get PS5. Probably because I'm also waiting for the price to go down. So yeah, that's all. That's what I'm gonna be waiting for. If there, but the thing is, if there isn't like any, I know like GT6 had like mic usage, but unfortunately GT Sport doesn't. So I'm like, okay, so that's gonna be like if that's only gonna be the problem, if that's gonna be the only problem. Like, yeah, it's not gonna be that bad. It's just that like depending on how many people have gotten their hands on the PS5 and pre-order Goddrifter247. All I know is that it's gonna be a grind to get the cars from one game to another. Then again, there might be a chance I might not get PS5, but there are also a chance that I might get PS5, but for a cheaper price. Like it depends on the economy for now. And then again, there are also might be a chance that I might get PS5, but I might not have enough for GT7 because since GT7 is coming out this year, it probably like, oh yeah, here's a new Gran Turismo game. It's gonna cost you an arm and a leg for it. It's like what? Oh, what? Hello, welcome to the podcast. Oh Jesus. Now what was I saying? Yeah, there might not be a chance I might not get a PS5, or I might get a PS5, but I might not have enough to get GT7, or I might have I might have enough for both games, but what if I don't have PS Plus? That's that's the ultimate question. Like, will the game probably be fueled by PS Plus? Because if it is, then that for me, it's kind of like a problem with with any online game that needs PlayStation Plus. Like Warframe was doing fine. You get PS, you get PS5 to get GT7. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what if I don't have enough money to get GT7 when I got a PS5? Oh Jesus! My goodness, now what was I saying? Well, let me check who's lagging. One person's lagging. Okay, that's probably the reason. Yeah, when it comes to when it comes to like the PS5, it's probably gonna be the hardest thing. Like you have enough get PS5 and then wait till GT7 is cheaper. I'm waiting for the PS5 to get cheaper. I'm about that cheap. I'm about that cheap system life. Like no joke. I mean, and again, I'm hoping that I can actually. I'll probably get one, but it depends on the condition or like the holiday. Because like I might get for Christmas, might get for my birthday. I don't know. It depends on how long it takes to get one and how many things I need to be prepared for. Because I mean, you never know. Like I already have like the PS Plus games for PS5 in the library, so I'm like, okay, I should be good to go. Until then, I might need to like, Black Friday. It's wait for it, or it's so it gets cheaper. So it's probably not that. There's not that many people online already. Dang, already? Jesus. They're like, oh my goodness, I just got the PS2. I don't care online. Like, invite online. I'm like, dude, how? How did I ever get PS5 in the first place? Like, oh, I just went to the store. You basically went to the store. Yes. much was it? Well, it was sticker price at $5.99. It's like, oh, okay, that's cool. Wait, which version did you get? Oh, I got the original. I got discs. Oh, that's cool. Except for the fact that the digital costs less. like how much less? 100 grand less. No, $100 less. It's like, oh, well, I gotta do GT Sport tomorrow. I'm actually taking a break from GT Sport because right now, oh Jesus, sorry GTR. Um, the reason why I'm taking a break is because, well, oh my goodness, Volt ban. Oh my goodness, has it been what, like a couple of minutes already, and someone's voting a ban? Like, come on now. What was I? Oh my goodness. Where did this lag came from? Jesus Christ. No, it's impossible to get a PS5. Anyway, people buy them in some long over 1,000 grand, or 1 grand. That is indeed true. Like they overpriced the, oh, like people overpriced the mess out of PS5. It's like, man, I got the first PS5 ever. Like, same in the US. That is indeed true. Now what was I? Oh yeah. Well, I'm actually taking a break from GT Sport because right now everything is insane. Like it's like at this point it's literally utter chaos, and like no one's like everyone's like breaking the rules of a certain lobbies. Like I'm like, man, I might as well just retire for like the next 2 weeks. It's not gonna be that bad, but it's probably gonna be refreshing for me to have like something different in the channel than just like Tuesday, Thursday, GT Sport, like Friday, a podcast, and then Wednesdays, new Newsweek Payback Speed lists. Uh, like it's not a bad idea to actually branch out for once. Like uh, literally, it's probably my best idea, or it's probably gonna be the worst idea because, like, if I retire 2 weeks from GT Sport, like it's either gonna be two things: either no one's gonna join the next live stream, or it's like, oh yeah, it's that one guy that does car shows all the time. Like, what's that guy's name again? It's like, what happened to him? It's like, oh, he retired. Oh, you retired GT Sports 2. He's still like, what? This is. Oh my goodness. Oh Jesus. Okay. Apparently, the R32 and the GCV or GBs. I forgot what they called the chassis for the second generation of the Subaru Imprezas. Like, I am confused. Like, which one is they? Because I know, like, I say I might as well just call them Blawbys because that's what they are. And I said the R32 from going the wrong way. And I can't drive. Can I drive? What up? I got introduced to you over GT Sport car shows. Ah, okay. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. But then again, my channel didn't start with GT Sport. In fact, it started with Newspeed 2015 on a different account, and not to mention back then I had literally that I had that one Later, I was in the car to the lobby and the host was random. Even when I caught him, he kicked me. Oh my goodness. Wait, hold on. So the host was ramming people. See, this is the reason why I'm like. See, that's the reason why I was like. This is why I'm why I'm going to retire for the next 2 weeks. On GT Sport because like everybody is going insane. Like I don't know what's going on in GT Sport, but I might as well just like wait out till like the chaos blows over. So there's that. And I had too much angle. Okay. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, my channel started around 2017, and it was like my first time ever I ever live streaming a game. I was like, it came like I didn't have a script. Honestly, I didn't even bother writing a script. This is the reason I want to. It's just you don't rage and you're chill. Trust me, let's see. True. Okay, that is kind of true, but I can rage. Like I do have moments where I mostly like, man, I can't believe this. Like, you know, yes, I am pretty chill. There's also like a bit of a chance like I can be a bit upset and a bit salty, but I'm like, it's not like it's okay to be angry. It can like you can get better. Just think about what you're doing. It's like okay, I think I know what I can do for now. Like it's kind of like man, it's not that bad. I mean, you just have to do better. Like that's my. I say there is a lesson that has to be made. In Need for Speed, my advice is you're not fast unless you ditch the Porsche. That's my opinion. That's my own opinion. If you're fast, then you're fast. But if you're fast with the Porsche, then you're slow. It's just that the Porsche is way too fast. I'm like, you know what? If you're fast, try building, try building a car that can beat a Porsche. So most likely that's how that's how I be these days. Like drifting is one thing. Like it's a chill. It's a really chill type of like thing, but at the same time, was the first sim racing game I ever played. Oh my goodness, this is um the first ever sim game I've played. I have to be completely honest, it was Grid, like the first Grid game from 2008. But I ended up getting the game out when I was 15, and that was in fact my first ever. I don't know if you count Grid as a simulation game, if not, but if it's not, but it didn't count. I said, but if it doesn't count, then Gran Turismo 3 on the PS2. So yeah, not to mention I got introduced to drifting through wait no, it wasn't Grid or Gran Turismo 3. It was Need to Be Shift on the PS3 back in 2009, but ended up getting the game at 2012. Did I get it brand new? You talking about Grid or Need to Be Shift? Because both those games were pre-owned, and most likely I had to and keep in mind I was legit saving money in middle school because I do not feel like buying because like if it's like oh yeah don't worry it should be fine, like if I want to get like a racing game that that simulates real life, then I want to like at least drive like in real life. Like it's insane. Did I get it new? Which is a question. No, I didn't get it new. I got it used. It was before. It was before the whole Corona idea type mess. But yeah, it wasn't. Actually, yeah, it wasn't Grid. It was actually Grid was my second. Wait, no, Grid was my third simulation game. First simulation game was Need to Be Shift. I know that for sure. Uh, then Gran Turismo 3. And keep in mind, this was 3 years before I got Grid. So that was around, I say 2012, 2012, 2013. I can't remember. Uh, but I ended up getting two of probably one of the best games ever owned in the PS3 back in the day. But um, unfortunately, I didn't get to experience Gran Turismo 5 or Gran Turismo 6. Uh, it was probably like it was probably like my favorite past game. It was my favorite pastime in terms of like racing games. But yeah, most likely also Grid taught me how to actually drift correctly because like legit I was literally breaking the drift. I was hitting the handbrake and I wasn't doing it correctly. And it's like, oh yeah, you need to like yeah, you need to like turn right to go left. Yeah, turn left to go right. Yeah, and you have to also have to hit clipping points too. It's like, I didn't know all this. I learned drifting from arcades. What do you mean? It was a good game. It was. The only ones I haven't experienced yet was the second game, which was Grid 2. Used more time how to drift as well. How to drift well. That is indeed true. Like you can actually learn how to drift through many forms of racing games, but I think I first drifted in the crew. Oh wait, what? That's insane. Like how in the world can you? When I say, oh yeah, I forgot they had drift cars in the Wild Run. I completely forgot about that. And then Call of Duty was a thing. I was like, oh god dang it, why? Hmm. But then again, this game actually taught me how most likely certain amount of air on the tires can actually affect how much acceleration you get. So I'm like, okay, how does that make any sense? Do I use the wheel? No, I legit use a controller. I was using a controller and I was drifting for God knows what reasons. Like, it's like, oh yeah, don't worry, you're drifting in a wheel. You should be fine. Boy, I'm drifting the controller. How? Where do you see a steering wheel in a controller? um, let's see, what can I use? Oh my god! What? How? I tricked my parents that GTA San Andreas was a car game for years. Oh my goodness. Oh, true. Oh, see, no, actually, I do have a story about this. So, I didn't realize that my brother still have still had Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and Um, oh, and then my mom gave me Gran Turismo. No, it was Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and it was for the PS2. I was like, oh, okay. My first Grand Theft Auto game. And when my brother came home, I was like, oh, no, no, don't give him that game. Mom's like, why? It's like, okay. Okay, okay, do you see the giant M logo on the giant M logo on the box? And it's like, oh, wait, what's the M stand for? And it's like mature. And I'm like, big bro, I have played Mortal Kombat with my cousins. I am pretty much mature. And I was like, you know what? I can wait a couple of years. What could possibly go wrong? And then, yeah, high school happened, and legit, this is what my sister said when I was getting to high school. My sister's like, do not get any racing games. Period. I'm like, what? Like, what am I supposed to? Like, I'm a racing game type of guy. I love racing games, but it's an arcade racing. It's an arcade racing game, Mom. Oh my goodness. Now what was I saying? Oh yeah. So here's what happened. So we were at this retro game store, right? And legit, my sister said, "Do not get any racing games." And I was like, "Okay, I won't get any racing games." So so my mom insists on giving me Call of Duty Black Ops for the PS3, and I'm like, okay, are you serious, Mom? Like, I'm not a shooting game type of guy. Even though I've beaten Call of Duty 2 Big Red. Oh, excuse me. I think I ate a couple apples earlier, so I'm sorry if I'm burping a lot. But yeah, what's I saying? Oh yeah. My mom says like gave me Call of Duty Black Ops, and I'm thinking, Mom, I'm not a military type of person. Like, the only reason why I play it is because of the zombies. That's the only game I know. And I also play for the campaign, which, keep in mind, it's not bad. It's just that I wish my mom could have gotten me like a better choice. Like, it doesn't matter what game I play. If it's a racing game, then I'm good. Anything else, fighting games, I can deal with it. I've never heard they came up with in the stairs. I did a car cheat and I was just was driving around. Her Black Ops 2-year-old. Yeah, no, it was the first Black Ops game. I'm like when I know the only game I know was zombies in campaign. I don't want to play online. And not to mention, keep in mind, the first time I ever experienced gamer rage was around it was when Black Ops 2 was still a thing. Not to see your mom. Oh my god. Yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah. Just running over people. Oh my god. Don't worry, Mom, I'm totally not running over people with a Mustang in the game. Don't worry, I should be fine. Oh my goodness. Now what was I saying? Oh yeah. So I ended up getting Call of Duty Black Ops 1 along with probably the worst Sonic game ever, Shadow the Hedgehog. But actually no, it wasn't the worst game, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either. It's like Hot Wheels. This is my goodness. What was I? Oh yes. It's like Hot Wheels. Yeah, it's totally like Hot Wheels because like all the cars are fictional. Don't worry, it should be fine. As I was saying, end up getting Shadow the Hedgehog. It was probably my least favorite PS2 game I ever played. So I literally, legit, after playing the first level, I ejected the game. I opened the case, put the game back in. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not touching that with a 50-foot pole. like, like the only reason why I like Shadow the Hedgehog was was the soundtrack. That's the only reason. uh, I believe that music in racing games can work. It's just that let's see. The funny thing is that any racing game was legit. The developer's like, okay, what is supposed to do with the soundtrack? It's like, okay, whatever you do, do not put the most overplayed what's that called? It's like, what do not overplay. Do not get a song that's overplayed. Like that's your first objective. Your second objective is to literally like diverse the genres of songs. It's like, okay, so what do you need? Like, we need we need rock, pop, rap, hip hop, country, techno, electronic, house, dubstep. I don't care. Just give us the songs. It's like, okay, okay, it can kind of work, but it depends on the price in a dump truck. Oh my god. I haven't driven this SE in a while. And the good thing is, it's SC300, so this thing came with a 2J instead of a 1UZ. Now it was slow. It's like, I'm loud but slow. What that reminds me of? Oh yeah, slap culture. Now it was slow and bad looking. Depends. Dump truck drifting. Oh my goodness. Not double. The only insane vehicle that I didn't expect this game to have was this. Like, I legit didn't realize that this was a thing. Oh my goodness. The truck, well, yeah, I'm like, well, yeah, I'm like, that boy true midnight club member. Oh my goodness. Oh Jesus. Okay. Yeah, I didn't realize that drift trucks was a thing until I played this. But then again, I didn't realize that. And I was like, oh wait, Boa has a racing truck. So I'm like, okay, I heard of drag racing big rigs, but I never heard of one that actually drifts. What you in that club member? Dude, I already know. Okay, so basically, here's the thing. I know what car I choose in Midnight Club 3, and I know what car I finished in Midnight Club 3. The first car I picked was the Monte Carlo. I finished the game, but legit, the I'd say Zonda C12. I think that's what it was called. And then Metal Club LA, I finished the game with a. I had started the game with a 240SX. I finished the game with a Lamborghini Miura. And keep in mind, it was literally my 8th time beating Metal Club Los Angeles. What was I? Oh yeah. Um, Long story short, like characters can actually work in a racing game. It's just that, it depends on. Yeah, it actually depends on the time the game takes place. Like for example, you have like characters that are in a game that was made in 2015, and you mentioned something like Vine, Instagram, or like they gave us a new Infinity Coupe that's about to come out soon, or oh no, they're going to discontinue the Mitsubishi Evo 10. Like, wait, what about the answer? Oh, but they're gonna make those until 2017. And it's like, what? How? How in the world does that make any sense? And it's like, oh, okay, so did you see the time attack truck on the Hooligan channel? I haven't. Like that. It looks like that one. Oh, okay. That actually makes a lot more sense now. Well, except there's this. Oh Jesus! Sorry, big rig coming through. What's harder to drift in car? What's harder to drift, CarX or GT Sport? I know a game that can actually be the hardest thing to drift, and most likely it may be like I know how to drift in CarX, I know how to drift in GT Sport. The hardest game to drift in, believe it or not, was I'd say it was Tokyo Stream Racer Drift 2. Probably the hardest game to drift in is because one, you got weather conditions and heck, even track conditions you have to deal with. And keep in mind, no matter what car I use, I'm afraid to use a rear-wheel drive car because I will spin out easily. So that's why I usually prefer something along the lines of an all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, or like front-wheel drive, because obviously a lot of people are like, oh yeah, don't worry, you should be fine. And trust me, it'd be best to use a wheel in that game instead of a controller. But on the other hand, if I had to say which needs to be payback the hardest, it's not hard for me, to be completely honest. Like, I maxed out almost all my cars. It's actually not that bad to. It's not that hard to drift. 2015's drifting physics are meh. Like, no, it's easiest. In terms of payback, it's literally not that bad in terms of like how hard it is. Easily, the easiest one is this game as well. It's not easiest, but it's easy to get used to. But let's say what's it called? Needs to be Carbon, needs to be Heat, and well, Grid was probably the hardest. Actually, no, it wasn't Grid. It wasn't Tokyo Stream Racer. Grid was the hardest one to drift because because you literally had to like make sure that your car is on the track, because if the car is not on the track, then you end up making mistakes, you end up hitting a bunch of things that you might not supposed to hit, and it's probably the most insane thing ever. I'm like, how? And the funny thing is, every time I hit something, I'm like, oh my goodness, I do not want to hit anything else. And then I'm like, how will I keep winning these? How? Yeah, when it comes to like drifting, um, it can work out as like a different approach. Oh, you have to go. Let's see. Oh yeah. So it's a different approach in terms of like any sort of racing. Like with racing, all you do is like, oh, wait, back later in stream. Okay. Okay, I got mega backwards. Okay. I think they switch vehicles because uh I don't know if it's just me, but I think I have too much grip on the truck. And yes, having too much grip is probably a bad idea. The fact that if you had little to no grip, you spin out. If you had too much grip, you cannot pull off a slide without like any extra help. So I don't know what to choose at this point. Hudson, nah. Hot rod. I say this Factory 5. Not that. I say. Hold on. This is going for Halloween. No. No. Hmm. Okay, let's go with this. Exclamation good in that game. Um. Yeah. This is like legit. Um. You can also have. You can take. You can take parts off. You can take parts on. Um. And heck, you can make one car convertible, but I advise not to do that because it gives you a wing that seems unnecessary. Um, you can also take the lights out, exhausts. Alright. Yeah, you can also change. Um, you can also change the steering wheel. You can change the handbrake. They're hydraulic handbrakes, so there's that. Um, you can also get like a sequential shifter. The wheel choices aren't bad. It's just that I wish they had like brands. Like what kind of things are these? Stock, BSBs, RC, Zero Drift, Special Edition, D Spec. Who came up with these? um, what else is there? Oh, actually, I have a body kit for this, but the only thing you can actually change is the hood, which kind of it upsets me a little bit, but I rarely use it. Let's see, Cobra, nah, Supra. Wait, Cobra GT 530. Wait, there's two Cobras. How? How are they mistaken one for the other? Ay. They might as well just. My goodness. Now I thought about it. Why did they actually name this one the Cobra, while this one the Cobra GT 530? That makes absolutely no sense. Okay. I see what the same part is. You can make this a convertible as well. I'm like, wait, you can make this to a convertible. I wonder how many people are upset you can actually make that to a convertible. Basically, anything, anybody that was actually a fan of this car. Uh, so yeah, nice. I think I might buy the game. Uh, I, well, if you want to know the price of it, I think it's $39.99 still. I don't know, but if you can get it on, if you get it on sale, then it's probably be a good idea. Even though even though the price is ridiculous, I'm pretty sure it will be worth it. Oof. Hmm. Hey, I don't know what to choose next. Uh. Oh yeah, if you're wondering why it looks like that, don't ask. uh. Hmm. Oh, I haven't used this in a while. I believe this is a 1980 something Laurel. I can't remember. Hmm. What I do know is that this is one of the two Busso Zoka cars I ever owned. One of them was Laurel, and then the other one was a 1982 Mark II. I think that's what it's called. Uh, oh jeez, and it's grapes. Don't mind me yet. This is a Sam Busso Zoka car that is drifting for some reason. Okay. Wait, is it? I can't remember which way to go. Oh jeez. Okay. Good sound. Oh. Okay. Now I thought about it. There is one car that you won't believe had a V6, and it'll sound something different. Don't mind this, it's just an S13 and a lower. I'll just drifting all over the place. Alright. That was a clean run. Well, except for the science part, but clean run nonetheless. Oh my goodness. Ow. Okay, the funny thing is, I am legit really low to the point where I'm scraping. So, if you see sparks, then you probably right with all the reasons. I mean, then again, if people are lowering this car to the point where it's scraping, then yeah, that's literally bye-bye to it's bye-bye to either the underbody or the oil pan, or in many cases the transmission, because you never know. uh, yeah. Anyway, either way, something's going bye-bye, and it's pretty much gonna be either the oil pan or the underbody. Either way, unrepairable, and yeah. Okay. Holy crap! Yeah, I'm way too low. Car gets stuck on crazy speed bumps while yeah over here, lol. Oh my goodness. In fact, you can actually get stuck in this game. Like, I'm not joking when I say this. You can legit get stuck in this game. Hold on, trust me. Look at this. Well, actually, this is. Oh, jeez. My car's okay. What the heck? Okay. Oh my goodness. Trust me, I know it's insane. Oh Jesus. Okay, I'm good. I think he left. I don't know. Okay. Was this other car coming through? Oh crap. Parking job sucker. Oh my god. But yeah, you can actually get stuck in this game when your car is too low. Alright, hold on, let me just go into the track and show you what I mean. Like legit, like your car is so low that you cannot exit the grass. That means the car is so low. My goodness. Alright, where is... There we go. Where are we? Mm-hmm. Alright. See what I mean? You can easily get stuck in this. You can easily get stuck, and most likely you get stuck, and it's like, man, let me just reset real quick, and boom, there I go. Oh my goodness. Alright. All right. I think I'll go with. Mm, oh, actually, do you want to know what the 350Z sound in this game? Even though most people say like, "Oh man, it's a 350Z," it sounds like a trumpet. Well, wait. See, before anything else, let me remove something off this car real quick. Do. There we go. Okay, what you see here is a 3.5 liter V6. And let me just get back to my own lobby so that we can actually, there we go. I can actually get there. And is it story mode or missions in the game, or you earn money by drifting free roam? There are, I say there, there aren't any missions. The way I earned my money was, you see drift races, time attack, and then there's tandem drifting. Time attack apparently made me the most money, but yeah, that's in fact. If you ever got the game, use the Hachiroku, which would be the Torino, and and then just drift around, not drift around, do um what's that called? Do do drift races more than at least 2 or 3 times, and oh, hello again, hello, welcome back to the live stream. uh, no, what was I saying? Oh yeah, and then right after that, just buy an RX-8, uh, and then buy buy the race tune, and then well, before that you need to unlock what's it called? You need to unlock the West Coast Arena because like you're probably gonna need that, and it's probably gonna be one of the most best money making methods in the entire game. What's your daily driver? What's your daily driver car? Uh, hmm. Okay, sounds a bit different. Oh, my car? Oh, I can't drive, unfortunately. In fact, I don't have my license, which this is the funniest thing because most people are like, oh, you must be a car YouTuber. What car do you drive? Drive me, I don't have a license. Like, I think it was before the update. This car sounds like an F1 racer was swapping to this car. Try playing Need for Speed in real life. I don't know what you mean. Like legit. Uh, like I said, I don't have a car. In fact, I don't even have my license. So, well, essentially, legit, like no joke. it's sad really, cause the sad part is I am literally in my early 20s. So yeah, you wondering why I don't have my license in the first place? Well, here's what's your favorite TV show. Let's say I watch a lot of anime. Not to mention they're really good anime, but if I'd say what my favorite TV show was, childhood-wise, Hot Wheels Acceleracers. As an adult, as a teenager, I'd say Initial D, because why not? I also watched Manga Midnight, but before Kiss X Anime got discontinued. And last but certainly not least, as an adult, Agents of Shield. Like, you can't go wrong with Agents of Shield. Like, even though it's like, oh, it's Agents of Shield. What could possibly go wrong? Yeah, that show should have been rated R. This is already TMA because of all the gore in that show. I'm like, how? How do you have that much gore in a Marvel show? Like Game of Thrones, like Game of Thrones, man, you should watch Agents of Shield. I just finished Game of Thrones. Oh no. I'm guessing you're disappointed at the ending. I'm not gonna spoil it. Like Game of Thrones, man, you should watch Agents of Shield. Why? Because at least they did at least Agents of Shield show gore, like legit. I end up rewatching because I ended up watching season 4 by accident, and then what's that called? And then end up I was obviously watching seasons 1 through 3, and then end up watching the fourth season. I didn't finish the 5th season because I'm like, okay, I'm still getting used to how things work in the 5th season. Well, yeah, I haven't finished the entire show, but all I know is that the first good seasons of Game of Thrones has to be 1 through 5, 1 through 4, 1 through 5. I can't remember. Yeah, it was probably one of the. It's probably one of those shows where you're like, oh, okay, I think I get the gist of it, but there are also some shows that can be confusing. Like, legit, it probably was like the only legit confusing thing about TV shows is the fact that some shows I really liked it. It's not a normal happy ending, so it's something new. It's new for a difference. Okay. Okay, that's actually a pretty good answer. It's like, okay, what do you watch Game of It's not Shones. Game of Thrones, my mistake. I keep getting Throne and Shield all in one word for some reason. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So, it's like, oh, why you watch Game of Thrones? It's like, because there are knights, there's dragons, and heck, there's a little of, Sun and Sun, you know what I'm saying? It's like, don't get it. It's like, okay, you must be 12-year-old. Okay. Now what was I saying? Oh yeah. Agents of Shield on your hand, it's like, dude, you watching Agents of Shield? Yeah. what is it about? It's like it's Agents of Shield. Like who? Like what do you think? What do you think it's for? It's like Agents of Shield. It's like yeah. But actually not that way. I say though, I think the ending that actually gave me like legit like what the heck just happened moments has to be Berserk. Like legit Berserk. Berserk just it's not traumatizing. It's just that it was like I was like dumbstruck. I'm like I literally like I was watching it while my parents were away, and I'm like, what the just happened? Like, what happened to them? Like, who did this? It's like, oh wait, it's Griffith. Who else? And also, spoiler warning: if you have not watched Berserk, uh, well, yeah, is you? Let's see. Oh yeah, I'm going to spoil the absolute mess out of Berserk. Well, this is also a pretty good series. I had watched it twice. I've heard of Lost. I also heard it was good, but then again, there's also the stereotype of like that one guy that literally, that literally won't stop not trimming his beard every now and then. It's like, yikes. Yeah, what was I? Oh yeah. Also, spoiler warning: if you do not want to be spoiled on Berserk, then you might as well click out now, just in case. Anyway, so literally, Guts and Concept just got the whole squad back together, and they rescue Griffith. Okay, and the Bayonet actually kicks in, and boom, they're in a whole different dimension. And the one that's not in a different dimension is one of the soldiers, because obviously they don't want to get themselves killed. And it results of 5 things. One, the entire squad is dead except for Guts and Casca. Second thing is Guts got seriously injured, resulting to broken bones, lost an arm, and lost an eye. Third is a touchy subject, so I'm not gonna talk about it. Fourth, Griffith just became a demon, and number 5, Guts and Casca are now being hunted by demons. So yeah, that's the ending in a nutshell. Until 2016, where they still continue the actual show. If you want to know what it actually looks like, just make sure you watch the whole entire show. There's also different dimensions, dimension time and stuff. They mess with your head in a good way. And then again, there are also games can actually get you to a different dimension. For example, Persona 3, 4, and 5. Persona 3's Tartarus Dark Hour is legit probably one of the things where it's like, oh, okay, so what do we have here? It's like we have this. It's like, oh, this is okay. Now what was I? Oh yeah. My goodness, I'm forgetting something. What game is that? It is Car X Drift Racing, and it's probably probably the most sought out game that the graphics technology ever has. Anyways, gonna switch cars. Um, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so Persona 3 Tartarus and the Dark Hour is like, have you ever, have you ever played Final Fantasy X on PS2? It's also a remastered version for PS4. I've heard of Final Fantasy X, actually Final Fantasy X, and it's memes. Trust me. This looks mad fun. It is, like, no joke. Um, now what was I doing? Oh yeah. Change the cars. Oh, there we go. Now what was I saying? Oh yeah. I heard of Final Fantasy X and its memes. And trust me, I have seen way too many top 10 characters that the too many Final Fantasy countdowns that notice that Titus or Tedious is not there. And it's like, oh, I'm wondering why. He's in the reverse list, like, pretty much. How fun is it right now? I'll probably cop it. It's pretty, oh my goodness. Room creating, okay. It's actually really fun. It's just that, like, legit, you have to figure out what type of tune you're going to do. It's like, let me show you what I mean. There's a tungsten, and yep, all of this affects the car. Like, legit, every single part of this affects the car. Ugh. I think the oldest Final Fantasy I know was, I hadn't even heard of Final Fantasy until, like, I think it was Final Fantasy 13, which I think that's my brother played. It was back when the PS3 was still a thing, and I'm like, huh, I've heard of Final Fantasy 13. My brother played it, and I'm wondering how it was. Oh my goodness. Alright, let me go back. Let me go on to the next topic. Um, Recreations of cars. There are good ways to do it, and then there are bad ways to do it. Like, for example, um, you can say that the Fast and Furious Skyline is literally the most recreated. In fact, it's probably in everybody's garage because of obvious um, because of how easy it is to make. Like, for example, yesterday I didn't stream because I was like, man, I did not feel like streaming today. I'm gonna be I'll be really tired tomorrow, so peace out tomorrow. Because obviously, actually, the reason I didn't stream is because of at class that I have a Zoom call that day. So I'm like, okay, yeah, it should work out. Because I wanted to, but at the same time, cannot work without any sacrifices. So there's that. Um, yeah, I'm over here like, okay, I was playing this game yesterday, and ooh, it's not RX-7. Yes, it is. Okay, so yeah, it's a clean looking RX-7. Let's go Super 2 in the morning. Oh, goodness, good scream. Alright. Actually, I'm gonna end it real soon, so there's that. Anyways, have a good night. Like, Legit, it's insane. It's 2:42. How are you awake? Yeah, alright. Alright, I'll see you next time. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So, oh wait, I didn't get to finish one of my topics. So yeah, Persona 3's progress is probably a really good example on time illusions and time distortions because literally the dark hour is an extra hour, and it's like, oh wow, okay, that's actually insane. Like, how many people have? How many people have done this? Like, no, oh yeah, so yeah, the dog hour being an extra hour, and I'm like, oh wow, okay, so it's literally 1 hour, and it's like, okay, now it's total box. Okay, that totally makes a lot more sense because that represents the reckoning of the 13th hour, which those that do not know, usually when it comes to a old school clock, there isn't a 13 there there isn't normally a 13 on the clock. But if it's the 13th hour, and that symbolizes something, Persona 4's TV world is a different world entirely. It's it actually in takes place in TV, and literally it's like, oh, okay, nothing can go wrong. But something can go wrong if you're either shoved into the TV without Persona, or something else bad happens. I do not know. The Persona 5's palaces are also a different world because you actually enter the world through the app, more or less, than a TV. Anyways, let's continue on the topic I was talking about before I forgot about the world searching thing. Anyway. When it comes to oh yeah, when it comes to replica cars, like there are good ways of doing it, and then there are bad ways to do it. For example, I remember, I think it was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday, and I was drifting with a friend of mine, as well as many others, and noticed there was a Fast and Furious skyline that he did all types of wrong. Like, for example, he had, see, in fact, the stripes are way, uh, the individual lines between the stripes are way too big, and it's usually like, and in fact, they had the livery for it. Like, you can easily just, shrink the line just and just duplicate the lines, and like, boom, there you go. You got yourself the first part, and then the second part you can do easily. In fact, he didn't have the Toyota Tire logo on the back of the car, which literally has, which literally says Toyota Tires on the back of the car. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I think this is his first time recreating a car in this game, and trust me, I know how it feels. In fact, the most infamous example is Hans RX-7 from Fast and Furious Drift. Now, the reason why I say it's infamous, and it's infamous for one reason: the bike kit. The RX-7 that Han drove had a Velside Fortune 3 bike kit, which, for those that don't know, is probably the most expensive bike kit that was ever made, costing over at least $3,600, and not to mention, along with the wheels, the bike kit alone cost $3,600. But that, along with any sort of outside wheel, you're looking at around 10 grand worth of stuff. So yeah, if you're wondering why people say like, oh, I want to recreate the RX-7, but they don't have enough money to do so, it's because of one thing, and that is the brand recognition. The brand is important, and without that brand of recognition, then it's gonna be no less than a replica, a car that actually made somewhere else. But things can indeed work on someone's favor. Because since it's a replica, you can actually find sources of parts somewhere, and most likely he's looking for that special color that the car had in the movie or game or show. Then you can actually go right in and actually apply it. Because God knows because we don't know what's going on in terms of what kind of thing it is. But more importantly, there's one thing that replicas needs to be known for, and that is what show it came from, what TV show it was on, what movie it came from, what kind of game what game was it in. There are many questions that a lot of people didn't realize that all it takes an answer, and these are the. This was from blank. Yeah, this was from is 3 words. The last one depends on the title. So, for example, this was from Need to Be Underground, which, looking at the Vortex, Acura Integra, or this is from Need to Be Underground 2, aka Rachel Taylor's Nissan, Rachel Taylor Rachel's 350Z. This car is from Need to Be Underground. Another car, Melissa's 350Z, and as well as this Mustang is from said it's from like Water Chronicles. I was like, I haven't heard that show since it came out. Like legit. I mean, then again, I grew up with like bad reception, bad reception versions of the shows that the shows and movies that were made in the 80s. And it's like, oh, okay, so what show is this? Like, oh, we got the Terminator Chronicles. And it's like, okay, what about the Knight Rider Chronicles? Like, oh, the Mustang. Who would have thought? It's like, oh, you know what I remember is when that one Knight Rider show no one remembers. So yeah. Uh, so you uh, future game developers, make sure that you know what you're doing. Otherwise, uh, most people will cheat you out, speed you out, and you never worked on the game again. So most likely, uh, in order to make future game developers, if you want people to recreate cars from a different game into your game, it's fine. Just make sure you have the stuff to do it with, because sometimes most people just do it wrong. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy this live stream. Leave a like, subscribe, comment down below what to see next. Also, follow me on Instagram at Goddrifter247sun Productions. Follow me on Twitter at GD27S. And last but certainly not least, check out my Discord. It's known as Goddrifter247sun Productions Garage Museum. And last but certainly not least, check out my series One Gun Theory. I'm sure you'll have a blast when when watching something that I actually made for the first time in years. So, without any further ado, um, I hope to see you guys next time. So yeah, tomorrow it will be New City Payback Speed List. So make sure you have a challenge for me to do, in terms of the speed list. So um, that way it'll be a lot more interesting than like Wednesday. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.